Hello, my name is Jim Kuch. My wife, Janice, and I recently used Chris Olsen of Olsen Ziegler Realty to sell our home in Parma, Ohio. Between our own experiences and that with our kids, throughout the years, we've worked with many different real estate agents. Way too many real estate agents. The overall involvement that they've had in the process and the end results with each agent have been very different. These include everything from them using snapshots that someone else had taken, just taking a couple of quick pictures with their cell phone and then using them to put our house on the MLS. And now, at last, we've experienced the full service approach taken by Chris Olsen. First, he listened to our needs and then matched his services to best support us from the beginning to the end in a way that made the entire process flow very smoothly. During his initial visit, Chris outlined his recommendations for preparation of the property for sale. This included many of the items that might be picked up in a home inspection and was done to help identify any showstoppers that needed to be addressed prior to putting our place on the market. Based on recent sales data of similar homes in our area, he then outlined the expected market value range for our home. We covered his standard methodology for selling and how his fixed fee structure differed from the rest of the industry. Above all, we were most impressed at the time with his market and his industry knowledge. While the advanced preparation of our place took a little bit of time and did have some cost, these are all things that would have prevented us from having the sale go through with ease and may have reduced the number of people interested in our property or perhaps even required us to accept a lower offer. Throughout the entire process, Chris guided us with his excellent support. He provided contacts of people in the trades whom he'd successfully worked with in the past. Then he advised us where they typically might fall in terms of cost and availability. He frequently came by when we had someone giving us an estimate and was always available for questions. In some cases, he even helped us negotiate a better cost for the service and frequently offered suggestions and recommendations when asked. Once major updates were finished, we had a pre-listing inspection completed. This identified other possible areas we needed to address, or at a minimum, include in the listing so that we could state that they were disclosed in advance and will not be subject to further discussion. Next, Chris listed our home. Wow. In addition to completing a great write-up, he included an on-site photo shoot done by a professional photographer that lasted for over 2 hours. Photos taken by a professional are something that's often reserved for only the most expensive homes, but not with Olsen Ziegler. As you look at these pictures, you can see how beautifully he helped us with the staging of the home and the ways the pictures nicely express its warm personality. Additionally, the aerial images taken with the drone clearly show our location and the surroundings. The 2D and the 3D floor plans in the photos and the 3D immersive Matterport video really made the difference in connecting with potential buyers. The 90-minute open house was attended by over 40 people, including a second visit from the eventual buyer. Comments were made by many as to how well the house showed and that the video tour allowed them to look around the home in a first-person way that most had not previously experienced. One even commented that they could see everything at the house except for what was inside the kitchen cabinets. In our case, our home was sold within 3 days at nearly 5% above our asking price. We had nearly $10,000 in cost savings from the sale due to the Olsen Ziegler fixed rate pricing and resulting from Chris's negotiation skills. We even had the buyer pick up and finance the broker fees, which are currently a cost for the seller. Let me add that with our preparation of the home in advance, our listing price was much higher than the initial market valuation. So for us, we actually ended up selling significantly well above the initial market guidelines. While we did not end up in a situation with multiple offers, it was clear that this is also an area where Chris excels. In short, we came out way ahead of using a standard agent who, we have found, will often do the minimum needed. They frequently lack the experience and have the additional brokerage fees. Looking at the for sale by owner option, the initial fees might appear to be less, but you have to do everything yourself. It lacks having the professional photographer, the market insight, the contacts, specific direction, and the negotiation expertise that Chris brings. As mentioned, most importantly for us, we achieved a quick, efficient sale with a much higher total return than we would have gotten without his expertise. As both an agent and a broker, Chris eliminates the middleman costs, passing on those savings to his clients. Additionally, he works at a fixed rate in place of the traditional real estate 3% commission, something that's rare in the industry. This is all done with full transparency to avoid any unexpected costs. He was able to eliminate or reduce many of the costs that exist from large firms, and unlike many agents, he does much more than taking a couple of quick snapshots and putting them out on the MLS. He truly earns his commission as he untangles the complexity of real estate, the market, and the changing laws, all while having a clear understanding of our needs, communicating in real time, and helping us to properly prepare and stage our home. Unquestionably, working with Chris has been outstanding. He has a deep understanding of the market and has all the necessary experience and negotiation skills that will help you maximize your selling price. We are absolutely thrilled with the personal experience Chris provided, which has resulted in our endorsement. So if you're in the market or know someone who's interested in personal service at a lower cost with the potential for a higher overall return, consider reaching out to Chris for a risk-free consultation. You'll be glad that you did. Thank you.